Alright, so now I'm going to show you some ATMs, how to set up your ATMs. And so basically how this works is that you've got to build the things first, and then they're whatever you want. So for instance, if I want to custom build one from scratch, I go to custom here. If I don't want one at all, so absolutely nothing. All right. Basically, that means that there's not going to be any stops or targets, these stop or target orders that come on automatically so many ticks away. All the strategies involved in there that you can add on to it, they aren't going to get on there either. So that's none. Custom is just where I'm going to build one from scratch. So let's say I want to build one that's got 4 ticks to the stop and then 4 ticks to the profit. Okay. Let's go ahead and name this ATM1. That's alright. You can name it whatever you want. Save it. Okay it. It's on ATM1 there. I know what's on there. And then basically, okay, let's put on, let's say here, not wait. Alright, so automatically my stop comes on, 4 ticks up. Automatically my target comes on, 4 ticks up. So the target's always the green one, the stop's always the red one. Okay. Now generally you can move this around like this, right? You can click it, da 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 da. You can roll this thing down here, right? The usual way is that you click it, you roll it down, Viola, it's there. If you click on this side, the target side, anywhere on the target side, so I can move this thing right there, right? It'll just automatically go there. Okay. But if I click on the other side, it'll automatically move the stop over there. Well, it moved the target there that one time, alright. So look, see there? Alright. See there? So you got to pick your side. Now, if you want the stop to hit, then what you do is you click the thing and then you move it. If you want the target to hit, then you click it first and then click the other side of it, and it'll automatically cross over. And so basically what those mean, the target is a limit order, meaning that it fills at that price or better, right? So when it triggers, it won't fill lower with less money. It's got to fill at that price or it won't fill. Okay, so as soon as it fills, it's off. Right. The stop though is a market stop. So the difference between a limit order and a market order or a market stop order is that the limit order is set so that it is triggered when the price is there and it is off when the price is filled. It's that order is filled at that price. The market order stop, which is what that red one is, it's just if market price hits that price where the stop's at, then it will fill at any price. Whatever the best price is, right then, whatever it is, it'll fill. So basically, what I've noticed in thinner markets or in hours where the markets are thinner, it's better for me to go ahead and just use the ask and the bid here. I don't like to use market orders. I don't like to use the stop if I don't have to. I don't like to hit market if I don't have to. I'd rather use bid and ask. So basically, what that means is that it's cheaper for you if you're using the bid and ask to fill rather than market orders. Right? This is market, so it's just gonna like just flops it out there at whatever. All right. Go ahead and short, so I can go ahead and close it. I just close it at market now. The difference is that if I put this on the bid, right, so it's going to fill right here. Well, this is just on the other side. The short order is just on the other side of price, but it's not going to be any lower. You know what I mean? Price was right here. It's not going to be any lower than this, right? So that saves me there. Now the thing is, though, is it's not a market order, so it's not like it'll actually. I might go short, and then it'll fill me like it'll fill me so far. Hold on, let me think about this. Yeah, so basically, if I'm shorting, I want the price as high as possible, right? So if I short on the bid, that means that if price is right here, the bid is right here, right? Because the bid's actually right here, right? Bid over here. This is where they're trading on the bid. So equal to that over here. But it's south of the market price. So it fills immediately. Like, watch this. Okay, if I put on the ask, price has got to go up there. Okay. Alright, so now it's up there. Now it's in the queue. Okay, first come, first serve. Finally, it worked its way down to the bottom, and then I was filled. Okay. The more contracts you got to fill, the longer it takes to get filled. Okay. Then slippage gets involved there, and then you got to take that into account with your strategies. All right. So, but if I want to get filled right away, but I don't want to get filled way down here, I want to be sure that I'm filled right here, not way down here. Okay. Then I can hit bid, I get filled right away, and I'm in right here. Price was right here, but I get in right here. But that means that I got to go from this tick to break even, and then I got to go to the next tick to actually make a profit. So I've got to move 3 ticks in order to profit. Right? Whereas if I actually go right here, right, and I get filled up here, then I don't have to go as far to profit. I only got to go 1 tick. Okay, so there is a sacrifice there. The market order is always going to cost you more, right? Because your entries are going to be off, right? So if you're shorting and you go for a market order, you're always going to go in lower, okay? If you're buying long and you go you go into a bid right here, right? It's always going to be cheaper first, okay? The ask is next cheapest because you're not going to get filled higher, right? But you do have to move further higher to start making money. And then the market order can fill anywhere, right? Don't trust market orders. You know, one of the things that they tell you is that, you know, you don't know. You could put a market order on, and then all of a sudden price moves way bonkers. It's a very bonkers move. Well, what happens is that that you could get filled. So say you're bullish, but then you get filled very high. Well, the move's already done. Not a good deal. Or let's say that you're holding long. You go to put in a market order, right? But the thing happened to sell off real fast right then. So then you get filled and you're out of your position really low. Maybe you lose all your profits. Maybe you lose some of your profits. Maybe you lose your profits and then more. or maybe you just lose a couple of ticks. Whatever the case is, it just means that you have to, you have to move that much further to make just that amount of money. So it's just less risky and it's cheaper to use limit orders, bid and ask, those kinds of things. But the stop, this right here, the red one here is always the emergency brake, right? So it's kind of like if it's gonna hit that thing, it's an emergency. You need to get out anyway, right? You can't be risking too much further, and so you use that thing. But if you can, don't use it and just use the bid and ask, right? So I don't have to wait for this. If it's going to, I can just move this down real quick, and then I can just use the I can use this maybe, right? But probably this, and that'll get me out quick enough, right? And it's a lot cheaper. It's a lot less risky, right? Um, what else? Um, let's go in here. Talk about some of these things. Um, a simulated order, basically what that means is that if you're just rolling with small orders, it doesn't matter. But when you start moving up, you're using larger orders. So what that means is that those orders get out there on the market. They go on the depth of market. They get marked so people can see them. And so you want to hide those big orders. Okay. So what you do, well, maybe. So what you do is you put on a simulated order. Okay. And so that way the order's only on your platform. When price hits the trigger, then that's when it goes to the exchange, and not until then. So that way people can't plan around your orders. Because if they can see it, they can actually manipulate around it if it's big enough. And then what you don't even want it to go all at one time. You want it to go one contract at a time, or just a couple, like, several different random numbers. So maybe 3 and 7, and random oddball numbers, small numbers, or ones. It doesn't matter. But you don't want a big number. You don't want even numbers. You want random numbers and small numbers. Okay. Always on top, so that way you can click other charts and the thing will stay on top. And what else here? Oh, show tabs. So instead of maybe I use multiple domes, um, and then if I want to switch from market to market, I just use this right here. But obviously, some people use multiple tabs, right? And so they can have a different market on each tab. Okay. Then you can rename them, etc. Save that space. All right, and then this is all kind of self-explanatory. The ATMs, though. So I made one ATM. Now the thing is, though, is I know that basically what I can do is I can move this, right? So it's movable. Also, let's see here, target, reverse, and stop. Yeah, there's a choice on here, so that it gives you the ability to do one-click moves, or if it's not checked, then you got to click the order and then move it. Okay. Um, Basically, I kind of think that if you've got them 10 ticks apart, depending on what you're doing, then that gives you ample room. Um, After a while, I kind of got into the strategy where I just go 60 ticks. So 60 ticks low, 60 ticks high. That's where they start at. And then if I need them closer, then I just got to click them closer. Like one click, they're there. Okay, but they're already out there because I'm moving the market is moving so fast. I just get into the really aggressive, volatile stuff, and I don't, it's wasting time if I got to scroll this thing and try to click it, and then every time the market moves, basically what it does is it moves the market back down to where the price is at. So then this thing keeps on rolling back, and I'm trying to move this thing. I'm trying to move the stop order because it's so volatile. I don't want the price to bump my orders before I want to get out of the position. And then I'm trying to manage two at the same time going the opposite directions. Right, so I just started the things at 60 ticks north and south. Now, if I want to change ATM1, then it's got a little edit button and I can adjust that. So 10 ticks, stop loss, and then let's say I'll just hold this down and go 60 ticks. Viola. And put it on. So the stop is 10 ticks. And then the target is 60 ticks. Now, if I need the target closer, there we go. Right. But it's already at a distance. So it just gives me that much more time. Right. So the kind of trading that you kind of want to get into is very quick. Fast moves. You got to think fast. You got to click fast. You can't hesitate. It's almost like video games, kind of, or like sword fighting, um, those kind of things. A little bit athletic, right? Um, but it's more profitable, right? Then you got to get accurate. You got to get used to the buttons, the price levels, reading things. There is a way to get even more accurate, which I haven't done yet, but basically what you can do is you can program all this stuff that you can do with a mouse, you can program it into your keyboard. And so, you can just use a couple of numbers that are close together and then, just hit those numbers or those arrows or whatever keys you're going to use. You can use any keys. You can get a special keyboard that's just a tiny little keyboard, like how the keyboard's got that number pad on the right side all the time. You can get a keyboard with just that little thing, and so then you can switch to that and then just work with that, and that would actually be faster because you can actually do that faster with just keys rather than moving your mouse around. But it depends. I mean, if you're working all over the place, on different domes and that kind of thing. I think you can do it though. I think that you can put certain keys for this dome over here, certain keys for this dome over here, and that kind of thing. So then it's even faster. The time between your reaction and your execution shorten up, so you'll be more effective. And I'm gonna do that. Haven't got there yet. Okay, so now when I changed that, it just stayed custom. I guess it didn't save on my ATM1 here. Or did it? Nope, didn't change. No big deal. Okay, so this one I don't want. I'm going to remove. Now these other ones I've got. Okay, so my miner's mallet ones. High, low, left, and right. But they're just random, high, low, left, and right. It just means that basically it works like this. If I've got no ATM here and I put something on, right? Whatever I do to this one over here is going to be done to this one over here. It's just that's how it works. So whatever ATM is on over here, it'll show up over here if I've got no ATM. Now, if I'm trying to run two opposite positions in the same market, that's not a good thing. Okay. So I have to put some kind of ATM there, right? So therefore I fill in the blank with miner's mallet high. Then I've got miner's mallet low. Even though these are the exact same ATMs, the stop is at 60 ticks, the target is at 60 ticks. They're both the exact same. They just got different names, and therefore they don't duplicate on each other. And therefore, when I'm doing any actions on here, they don't the actions on one don't work on another one. And I'll tell you what, sometimes I trade two markets at a time with this kind of thing. So then on one of my screens, I've got four ATMs. Okay, so I can day trade four at a time. It gets harder, um, but basically, I need four different ATMs. Otherwise, they start to mix. The domes will mix. Right, so then I've got right and left over here. Um, when I'm just picking giblets, right, little short, tiny counter trades in the ranges. Then I've got the Al Brooks here. Okay, I've got a couple of Al Brooks. I got the Al Brooks regular, and then the Bear Short Al Brooks. It's the exact same thing though, with different names, so that way they aren't duplicating on the domes. And then basically it's that four tick short, four tick stop, four tick target, and I can adjust that. But generally, if I'm picking giblets, then on the counter, um, I'm not going after big moves. Might go to three, right, and just grab that little move, or just let it go all the way through it. Yeah, and then so another thing, I got to tell you, I was telling you about market, right? It's better not to let it hit your stop market or hit market right here, okay? Because you don't know exactly where you're going to get filled, and it probably be worse than what you want. Close is the same thing. If you hit close, right, it's the same as market. It's the exact same thing as market. Okay. So don't hit close. Just hit the bid or the ask and get out at a specific price, and don't let it decide your price. Okay. That'll pay off in the long run, because you got to figure, if you're hitting market 10 times a day, um, 150 days a year, then and you're losing like a couple of bucks, well, anywhere from $5 to 12.50, which is one tick, depending on which market you're in. One tick to five ticks. At minimum, 150 times 20. Let's say 20 trades like that. 300. 3,000, and then times, let's give it a middle number, 3,000 times $7 a tick, $21,000 a year, right? So, you know, think about it. Don't go for market. Don't go for close. Just bid and ask. The target's okay. It's a limit order too, but that's about it. So just think about it. Try to reduce it. The more you reduce it, the more money you save. The more money you make. That's how it works. What else here? So basically, when I was showing you how I've got a long focus trade, and then I've got um, another trade that is hedging that long, right? What I'll do is I'll use I've got one here, right? So this is the long, and the target's way up there, and I can move that wherever I want. The stop is way down there. I can move that wherever I want, and then I'm short over here. So the stop is way up there, the target's way down here. Yeah, that's how it is, right? And so that if I'm long, yeah, the target's way up there. Um, and then I'm managing them accordingly. And then I'm doubling up where I think it's safe to double up. Okay. Um, and if I'm profiting on one, then I'm taking profits, but I'm also getting ready to move back in it. So I keep a trigger somewhere, so that way if it does rush, further down, I can capture it. All right. If it's not going anywhere really, and then it comes back up to my price, well, obviously it's not going to rush anywhere, and it comes back up to my price or close to it, I'll just break even on it, and then I just go with the other trade. Now, if it really does want to go, it can trigger me again and see if it doesn't do it again. If it just runs a little bit and comes back up, I'll break even on it and get out of it. But what I'm doing is I'm looking for it to leg down, right? And if it legs down, then it's going to hedge my other side. Okay. And I can set my stop wherever, you know, and then when it profits, I'm ready, right? So, well, this is the short side, so it would profit down here. But when it profits, then I'm waiting, and I'm gonna click ask to exit that. Boom, I'm out. Now, the thing is though is it shows the trade on the other side. All right. This right here shows you've got one contract total in this market, and it's long. Then I do this. What it shows you is you've got a flat position. You are flat in the market, meaning you've got one long and one short, and the position equals flat. Okay. Then if I add another short, what it means is that I've got one here, right? This is the one here. This is the two here, and combined my position in this market total is one short, because the first two, the original one here and the original one here, neutralize each other. Okay. And then I have another short here, so it shows me one short here. But then I get out of both of those, and then this is showing me one contract from over here. Right? That's why it shows up like that. I can actually close out that contract from over here if I go ahead and close it out. Or yeah. So if I close here, I'll close here. But if I've got a contract on here, I can close, and then I close again, and it closes out all my positions in the whole market. That's just how it is. But I don't do that. I don't close the second time, and I don't use close. Okay. Now the thing is though is that where you're going to have a problem is if you're on the same ATM. ATM means automatic trading. I forget. It's automatic trade something manager, automatic trade management or something like that. Okay, so I've got Miner's Mallet Low here. Let's go to Miner's Mallet Low over here as well. So what's going to happen is when I buy over here, it's long over here as well. So if I sell over here, hold on. Huh. I never knew that. I guess I don't need two markets at the same time after all. Two ATMs at the same time after all. Okay. So that's something I learned today. Okay, so you should have learned it too. What does that mean? It means that I can cut out some of these ATMs here. So I can use the exact same ATM on both of these markets. Now there's something else that you got to set up here, and it's the properties. Let's see if I can get them to pop up. All right. So basically here at the top in the general section, you can see ATM strategy selection mode. And basically you've got three choices and what you want in order to trade opposite positions at the same time in the same market is you want display selected ATM strategy only. And so what does that mean? It means that this is only going to trade what's in the ATM strategy, and it's not going to trade what's over here, right? Select a active ATM strategy on order submission. Keep selected ATM strategy template on order submission. I'm not sure, and I'm not using those things. There's a lot of different features on these platforms that if I don't have any ideas about using them, then I don't actually look and see what they are for. That's how it works for me. So keep it on that. Display selected ATM strategy only, so that way they're not, back and forth between DOMs. You're not controlling one from the other one, and it's not showing up on the other one and that kind of thing. All right. And then auto center, you want to auto center so that way you don't have to roll up and down. The thing rolls up and down for you as price moves. That's ideal. I actually custom, the font size. I've got Century Schoolbook, 14 size pixel, bold, right? So I also customize the colors of the numbers, as you can see. Customize the columns here, so that way I can tell the domes apart. So I know what, is this my long dome or my focus trade dome, or is this my short dome or my giblet dome, or vice versa? How is it working out? I just got to keep them separated. And so basically I've got red, white, and blue here, and the same thing over here, but they're different hues. Right? So that way it's the same colors, they go together, but they're different hues. And then I've got blue and I got red numbers here. I know that they are not, they just go together. I just know, which two go to which two. And then where you can change that is a little bit lower. Last trade displays in price column. Yeah, I checked that. And so basically that is this right here. Or no, wait, hold on. Last trade displays in price column. That's this. Alright. The brown level here is the last trade. That's where you entered or exited. Most of the time it's just entered, but if you're running, two domes on the same market, it's going to show where you exited to. So if I've got a position on over here, but I got no position on over here, it'll show me where I exited the last trade. Right? And that helps me kind of keep track of my balance. I got to balance the book here between the two. And the left mouse button is MIT. I don't even remember what that is. Just check it. It helps. It should be self-explanatory. Once you start using it, just check it. If you're missing it, then that's a problem. The middle mouse button. Oh, I know what it is. So if I click here with the left mouse button, right, then the order gets put on there. Okay. So I can just click and put it on there with the left mouse button. The middle mouse button allows me to put a stop. So let me show you something. If I want to put a long position on, right, then on one side I've got to use, I forget which side it is. I don't know why this is so instinctual. when I'm trading, and now here I'm just kind of drowsy and I'm explaining things for the first time ever, and I forget which site it is, but um, I think it's where you take profits. So on your profit taking side, when you click, you can click the left mouse button. But then where you want to add, so like if you click over here with the left mouse button, it won't let you do it. Okay. Or it will. No, it will. Right. You'll click the left mouse button. It'll let you put it on, but it'll fill you right away at wherever the price is at. Okay, so you don't want it to do that. You want to put a stop there, so or a limit order there. So when price comes down to it, then it fills. Okay, and so what you do is you use the middle button to put that stop in. So that way it's not filling up right up here. You're using the middle button. And if you don't have a middle button, it's better that you get one, simply for the fact that you're not going to be able to do that without that. Um, and it's a stop market order, which doesn't mean that it's as efficient. P&L display unit, that is this right here. I keep it on currency because I'm most familiar with currency, not with percent, not with pips, points. Ticks can be okay to learn on, but generally I'm just more familiar with currency, so I always want to see dollar signs here. Definitely not none. Um, I don't even know what predefined stop limit offset means, but I got it checked and it's been working. Hasn't been a problem. Predefined stop limit offset value. I don't even know. I should uncheck that. I don't even know what that is. I don't think I can though. Oh, I can't. Okay, so that works. We'll see. Um, all right, quantity modification for stocks. No. Scale quantity. No. Show cumulative depth. Yes. Cumulative depth is, let's see if it's on here somewhere. Well, basically what it does is it adds all the depth here. Adds it all up for you. And then it gives you a total at the top. So all the offers totaled at the top, all of the bids totaled at the bottom, and that just gives you an idea. So if there's a really big imbalance between the total offers and the total bids, it adds it up for you real quick. You can glance at that and you can see that there's just a lot more sellers than buyers, or vice versa, and that can help you with your trade. Um, Show daily high and low markers. Basically, this green right here at the very top left of the screen, that's the high marker. Okay, so that's the high of the day. The blue one down here is the low of the day. That's significant because the high of the day and the low of the day is like, that's the roof and that's the floor. If you're going through the floor, that's going to make up everything else to the crowd, right? If you're going through the roof, that's going to make everything else up to the crowd. And things just kind of like tend to, business revolves around the high and the low of the day. Um, so I want those on definitely. Okay. Show market depth. That's this. This is market depth. The offers and the bids. Show quick buttons. That's these right here. Okay. Quick buttons. You can take those off. If you take those off, then all you got is like, you've got these. You can click on here. You can move the stop and the target order around. I think the market stays on there, but you need the ask and the bid, so that way you're saving a ton of money. So you keep the quick buttons on. Show gross realized P&L when flat. Yeah. So whatever you lost, P&L, that's profits and losses. So whatever that balance is, I want to see that right here when I'm flat, so I know how well I'm doing on the day. Um, and for you, if you're beginning, then what you want to see is basically how close you're getting to your drawdown on the day. Okay. Um, you've got Rhythmic Trader that they use at that prop firm, and basically it gives you a more accurate read on your P&L. You get a basic P&L here, but it doesn't include your fees, right? You've got trading fees. Well, then you've got to use the Rhythmic Trader on the side. That's just how they are at that firm. And then that adds up everything here and your fees, and so you know how well you're doing. You could be profitable, but you might have made so many trading trades that you've got excess amount of fees that actually surpass your profit. That can happen, and that just means you're not doing very well. Um, okay. So I need to see P&L to get a basic idea, and then I go to the Rhythmic Trader if that's how I'm trading, and that's who I'm trading for, to get an accurate read on that, the fees included. Simulated order trigger. Okay, so what that means is that basically if volume hits and it's so much volume, so many contracts, then it automatically triggers you to get in long or short depending on which way the volume, the delta is facing, right? So, and that's just, that's always on there. So if like there's a big sell off instantly, boom, it's going to trigger you on an entry order. I've never used it. I would need an exit order. Um, Try it, figure it out, see how it works. Uh, Single click order modification. Yes, this is the one that I was talking about. This is the one where you just got to click the tick, and then you get the stop there, or you get the target there wherever you click, rather than having to click the order and then move it. So that's a lot faster. There's less, the less time that you can use, the more time that you can cut out between where you decide what you got to do and then actually executing the click. Okay, the more effective and the less losses you're going to make. You know what I mean? You're going to be more effective. And then okay, so now we get into those colors. And basically, it tells you right here action buttons. These guys right here, I just kept it at those colors. Ask price. Ask price. I don't know. Bid price. Okay, so the foreground here is the numbers. All right, so I've got the by column foreground, you know, blue, daily high price. You can change that color. You can change all these things. And then if you don't know exactly what they mean, then you just change the color, and it'll change over here instantly, and then you can see what it means. And if you need it, then leave it. If not, if you don't need it, cancel. It won't stick. And then just open it back up and go on to the next one. And that's how I changed all these colors, was with this stuff right here. Um, Trade control on the left, I wouldn't use that. it just puts all this stuff here on the left side, which makes the whole dome that much wider. It's a problem. Show the tabs. I don't use that because then it doesn't give me as much depth of market here that I can see. Right, so it squeezes up the depth of market. Always on top. Yeah, I don't need that on permanently. I just go here, right click on the border here on these domes, and then I can see it right there from the easy settings, not the properties. And that's about it for these. Um, and then let's see here. Here is how you change the contracts over to the new contract. So you go to Tool tab right up here. Go to Instrument Lists. Okay, and then you look through here and you try to find the market that you want to get in. So let's say I need the Nikkei. Okay, so the Dow 30 here doesn't have it on there, and I didn't put it on there. Go into the futures, and I don't see it there. NASDAQ, that's in here. These are all stocks. Default. Nikkei right there. Okay, it's the NKD. So 12/16. That's the contract. December of 2016. Okay. So I'll just click it, double click it actually. Double click it, and then basically this thing right here, it gives you the front month. So when you're trading for these firms, you only trade the front month. When you're trading for yourself, you can trade other months, okay? And they would be later on, before they expire. For instance, December of 2018, um, December of 2017, but we're working on the September right now. So that would just bump you up right there to the front month. Now your current, hit OK. All right, so now that's updated in here. And then what you'll do is just hit OK and make sure that's, effective. And then you go over here. And then what you'll do is you'll go to, which one was it in? Yeah, that one right there. Nikkei is actually in that market right in this one right here. I was into the default over here, I believe. Here it is. Okay, Nikkei 917. Then I put that one on, right? And now, as soon as I put that on, it gets in my quick list. Now my quick list only has 6 different markets, So whatever's the last 6 is what's going to show up here. Okay, now I can just quick, back and forth between the markets that I'm using. I wasn't using that. I was using the, what was it on? The ES. Okay. And so that's how you update the contract. Just rewind and that kind of stuff, and until it, sets right with you. And then here is where you can include markets. Type in what you want, or just scroll down here to where you know where it's going to be. It's all alphabetical and numerical. And then you get it, and then when you got it, you get this deal over here. Everything should be automatic. There are some settings that you can change specifically if you're in advanced, if you're in the advanced stuff. Okay it, and then it gets added to the stuff over here, these lists over here. Okay, so if it wasn't on these lists, in the instrument list. If it wasn't anywhere in here, then you got to go get it out of the instrument, the top one there in the tool tab, and go grab it out of there, and then it'll send it to the instrument list, and then from there you got to update it to the latest month, the front month. Once you get your stuff set up, basically you just want to save it here on the workspaces. So once you get everything set up, it should stay in those screens exactly where you have saved it last. Okay. Technically, when you shut down or whatever, if you shut down the platform, okay, generally they just stick to the screens that you want. That's basically every platform. Okay. But if the thing actually, if the power shuts off or that kind of thing, then you don't want to have to rebuild everything. Then you want to save your workspace, and that's the same on every platform. So just kind of keep it up to date on there, because I mean it can be hundreds of settings, right? And so you don't want to have to do all that again. And script editor. Script is where you can program your own algorithms, and then this thing can trade for you. I don't use any of this other stuff on this platform, or actually on any other platform very much. Let's see here. The chart. So basically, about the Jigsaw Trader, you can get a standalone Jigsaw, but then I'm not sure about the data. I think you just, I mean, if you're working for the firm, then you can just run the data they got there into the thing. I know that Peter Davies would just set it up so that it's that way, because he works with those firms anyway. And all the new traders kind of get the Jigsaw, and the Ninja Trader. Then later on, as they advance, they get the more advanced platforms, okay, or not. Most people just stick to the basic stuff because they don't really care. um, so I can go here. Here's the chart. I've got this thing on the wrong month here. I'm going to update it to the front month. And this chart it's loading. So now I'm up to date. Okay, all those trades right there are those trades I was making on that dome as examples. And this is a tick chart. So that means that, well, it's actually called a Renko chart. Okay. And basically what that means is that every one of these bars is worth 2 ticks on any chart. Okay. And so it's not about time. As you can see, the time down here is 12:02 to 12:20 to 12:37 to 12:45 to 12:55. So it's not really keeping track of like 5-minute or 15-minute bars. It's just keeping track of what ticks the price was on, right? And so it could stay at 2 ticks for a real long time. It doesn't matter. It'll just show that bar for those ticks, and that's it. And so that kind of that can condense charts. This kind of tick oriented chart, basically it gives you an idea of market in a more dome kind of look, so you can see the business going on at these specific levels, these price levels. So the top half of this tick is just, or this bar is just 1 tick. That's one price. The bottom half is another price. So it's just broken down into prices. And then you can see that the close of this one was higher, so it becomes green. The close of this one was lower, so it becomes red. That's how it works on the time charts as well. But instead of the time-oriented situation, it's just a tick-oriented situation, which is more close to this. So if you're advanced enough to understand all this, you can kind of see how those kind of pair together. All right. But I really don't trade by this very much. It is semi-effective. I've got the 34 EMA on here. Also, I've used the volume. What is it called? Volume average, I think. And those are fairly effective at indicating price movement, when things are going to reverse, if trends are going to continue. But then it was just, I was getting the same information off of my 5 minute chart, so I stopped using this. Was okay for a while. Um, let's take a look though at some of the doohickeys on here. Chart style. So, um, I can go into the different kind of bars here: candlestick, box, etc., etc. Bar spacing. I can bring the bars in closer together. I can separate the bars farther apart. I can make the bars wider. I can make the bars more narrow. Okay, so if on your chart they're just too close together, or the bars just ain't talking wide enough or whatever, then you can just adjust everything accordingly. Um, then I'll tell you about how you can adjust more. Uh, Zoom in, zoom out. Yeah, crosshair. So that's that crosshair. You see? I don't know. You should see the crosshair. Yeah, it's on there. Okay. So there's not an arrow. It's crosshair. If you want to change it so that it's off, so it's just an arrow. There's the arrow. I like the crosshair, so that way I can see levels. Like if I want to see what the level is here, I get that number over there on the right side. I can see exactly what tick that is. Um, Also, I can see the time. Right, it just lines up the time automatically. That I like. Um, Show data box. That's pointless. Maybe you can use it, but basically it's just telling you the time, the price that it's at, the high of the bar, the low of the bar. You can see that just by looking at the chart. Oh wait, hold on. On this platform, I guess it's wherever you move the mouse. So whatever area of the chart that your mouse is at, it's going to tell you, all the data on it. So I guess that's okay. Um, Chart trader. Let's see here. So chart trader, you can trade off the side here. That way you don't have to, use the dome, right? It's kind of a half kind of dome, except that it's not a dome because it doesn't show you depth of market. You have no sense of depth of market on here. Um, but basically, if you let's see here. Yeah, I don't trade this very much, so I'm not very handy. Gersh. Oh yeah, so if you move this around like this, you can scrunch more height in there, but it's going to scrunch your prices together. Okay. Um, Somewhere around here. Oh, okay. Let's see here. I'm going to start over. Buy a limit. Okay, so that's what your limit looks like when price gets down to there. I don't. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. So, so if you move this thing around, move the chart around or whatever, because you're looking back. You're just mousing it over, scroll it over or whatever. Got a little scroller down here too. Then you can get back to the front automatically by clicking the arrow up in the right corner. See it there up in the top right. This is waiting for price to hit it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and buy ask. All right. Now I'm in, and it says I'm profitable 1 tick. Now this is the S&P 500, so a tick is worth 0.25. So it's 0.25 of $1 handle, right? Because there's 4 ticks per dollar, so it divides it up into that. If I was on the oil, it's 10 cent. Or no, what is it? Well, let's find out. How would it do that? There we go. Whoa, filled me way up there. Now that's rough. Well, that's the. That's the. Is that right? Guess so. Wait, no. Huh. Yeah, that's not right. Okay, so did you see that? It filled me way up high. That's terrible. So then price has got to go way up there just to break even. But if I sell where right after I enter, then I lose that whole distance. That's how much that cost. It's the 8-month for the crude. There we go. Let's see what it says. It should be 0.10. But it might be 0.01. Yep, it's 0.01. Okay. Because it's 100 cents per dollar. Okay. Whereas in the S&P 500 it's just 4 ticks, 25 cents each per dollar. Okay. So it's different per market. Let's see what it is for the NASDAQ. There we go. Oh, same thing. 4 ticks per dollar, 25-cent ticks. Okay, so it'll vary from market to market. The thing is too is that I should be able to move these up and down. I'm not really sure on this one. I guess not. No. No, that's the entry. Right, yeah. Okay, there it is. All right, so basically on the dome, I can, I can put in basically I can put in a stop up here, right, Viola, and then it'll go up there. How about this? If I'm in long, okay, in long, I put a stop right there. All right, that's where it makes the difference. So then it goes up there. Now, I'm clicking the same thing. That's what happened here. Okay, and then I can move it, right? I can actually move the stop. Viola. Okay, just click on it. Click where you want it to go. Yada yada. And if I want, I can put more of these things. Yada yada. And I can just build this map on here. Same as on the domes. Okay. And then I can get rid of these. Okay. So that can be helpful. Let's hold on. Let's see here. Chart trader. I'm gonna close the chart trader, and there should be a close chart trader button somewhere. What is this? Oh, yeah, the F up here resets the prices. You know, so basically, um, right. So I've messed with the prices, scrunched the chart way down. F, there you go. Just resets everything. Um, oh yeah, I need a out of chart trader. And then, so I've got this chart set at on Renko. Okay, that's the tick chart. You actually can go to tick chart. Um, it's basically the same thing. Brick size 2. That's the normal Renko chart. That's ideal. I mean, that's just saving you space. That's what everybody uses when they use a tick style chart. Is the Renko 2 tick brick size. Each of these is a brick. Okay. If I do go to the tick, right, then it says here 150, which is kind of oddball. I'm gonna go with 1 tick, and then apply that. It's loading. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know what these lines are. And it's a line chart. It's not a it's not a bar chart like I was expecting. Oh, I see. So these lines out here are each tick. They represent each tick. So, these lines represent this 25-cent tick. These lines represent this 50-cent tick, 75-cent tick, 90s even, right there, and then so on and so forth. All right, and so then the line is just giving you basically, where the thing is going per tick, right? This is actually a pretty smooth chart. I actually kind of like this one. I didn't even know that this was on here. Um, but what I would do is I would scrunch this together so that way it's not so spread out, and that way I can get a better grasp of the field with a lot more time backwards. Um, I don't know how I would scrunch that up yet. I'm gonna go back to the Renko. Okay. So there's various things in here. There's a manual online. It's got all kinds of video and audio for everything on here. It's a really good manual. They also have this is the NinjaTrader, right? So you got to go to the NinjaTrader help manual. You can access this on the control panel for this platform. Just go to help, and it takes you straight there. Then you search for whatever it is that you're trying to figure out. But basically, it's all there. All the chapters, sub chapters are on the left hand side. Just kind of go through that. They also have a chat forum, so you can search the chat forum for your problem, or you can actually ask them for answers to your problem, and they'll come back with it. They've got administrators that actually work there answering questions, and then there are other traders that answer questions as well. So pretty helpful there. You can actually go to other platforms though. You can go to like the prop firm not platforms, prop firm chat forums, and ask people questions there about this stuff. You can go to the regular trading forums out there, ask people there that know about your platform. They can help answer. One of the really good ones is futures.io, Big Mike's Trading, Big Mike's Futures Trading or whatever. He's got a YouTube channel as well. Very sophisticated. He's always bringing in like the best traders that actually do really good discussions, video discussions, questions and answers, hour, 2 hour seminars. Really good. He's got all the videos on that website. Um, and they also have he's also got those on his channel on YouTube. Basically, you can get the you can actually be there live and actually ask them questions as they're discussing. But you've got to get into the I guess it's what is the elite membership, which is $100 for a lifetime membership, and then you get access to all the videos on the website. But also, he'll give you the schedule of when you can be at that seminar with that trader, with that pro trader, whoever it is, to discuss whatever they can be discussing algorithms or technical analysis, depth of market, order flow, new platform features, whatever. Um, and the list is just endless. Thing is, though, is you get the emails, and then it says, "Hey, we're gonna do a seminar with this particular person that's gonna talk about this. Do you want to register?" Then you register. Then it tells you the day before that the thing's gonna be happening. Then you get another message an hour before that the thing starts, and so it's just more inclusive. You can turn down things. You don't actually have to go or anything. But if you want to actually ask people questions about that stuff, because that's a really important subject to you, you might want to be there live as they're making it. Otherwise, the video comes out the next day or 2 days later. Okay, then it gets in the list. It ought to go to YouTube as well. You can find it there. So if you just check the list on the futures, no, no, yeah, futures.io, or you go to the YouTube channel, you'll see the videos as they come out, so you can check for updates. Uh, and they've got a really elite chat forum. Okay, so if you ask about like upgrades or how to do something on a forum, on a platform, they usually got answers. Most of the people are very advanced, um, less amateurs. Okay, so should always get pretty good questions. I mean, I'm pretty tired. Pretty good answers. I'm sorry. Okay, let's just wrap this up. Holy moly, I don't think I have much throat left. um, Chart style open and close. Yeah. Um, that's what makes a bar. 3, I can control the width of the bar here from here. Control the colors for up and down, bullish and bearish. Um, then I can get into like, what's the outline. This actually has a very thin white outline. I can change that. So, if I want the thing to express in less detail or more detail or whatever, I can control that. Um, Auto scale, center price on scale, display and data box. Oh, this one. This is the one that I should show you. Um, so markers only. What you've got here is you've got do not plot your trades. Okay. So do not plot is where it takes off these little lavender and blue arrows, which show your trades. Right. Do not plot. Don't show those. Markers only. That's what this is. It's just the arrows. Or you can do text and market. So basically, it tells you right? Exactly what was involved in that trade. Um, I just go with the markers only. That's enough for me. That's enough data for me. The thing is, though, is that I want to tell you something. If you're looking on here and you're looking at your plots for all your trades, and there's a lot of them, it's just a very dense pocket of them. It kind of means that you're trading too much, and if you're not profitable or consistently profitable, and you've got trades all over this thing, it just means that you don't know what you're doing yet. Okay, and I mean literally just like these things are stacked up on each other, just too many. Uh, you know, you can excuse yourself as a learner. Okay, so this is the indicators. This thing is just the indicator here is just the Renko. No, it's the 34 EMA. That's what it is. Exponential moving average. That's what this little blue line is. It's a 34 bar EMA. Fairly effective. I found that the what is it? The vol moving average, pretty good too. Um, was that the one, or was it something else? Yeah, it was the VMA, which is roughly the same as the 34 MA. I think I got better results out of the 34 EMA, which is the money line on the tick chart, which is surprising. So remove that. Remove that. But basically, if you don't have the standalone jigsaw, what you got to do is you got to go on here. First of all, you've got to import the jigsaw into your NinjaTrader platform or whatever platform you're using it on. It works for some of them, not all platforms. But basically, there is a set of directions on the Jigsaw Trading website, and it tells you how to import the file into the platform. Then once it's in the platform, the that is an indicator. The Jigsaw Trading thing shows up as an indicator, and here it is. It'll give you four of these things. Okay, and so basically, um, depth of sales live and depth of sales regular are two different things. You want depth of sales regular. So put that one on down here. The tape, I'll show you what those are again. And then go ahead and bring that up. This is for the NASDAQ. Okay. So there was two of these, the same thing, but one's reconstructed. The original one just shows you at every it shows you every order separate. So there's an order for two, there's an order for two, there's an order for one contract. These may be too small for your screen, I don't know, but this is on the left window here. So it's just showing you one order at a time. Whereas over here on the right side, it's showing you per tick how many sells, how many buys, right? Okay. So right over here, it was actually three orders. No, it was actually let's see, 92.25, 92 even, yeah, 92.25. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. 92.25, 92 even. Yeah, so right here on this 92 even, 8 sold, 2 bought, and then at 92 25. There was 2 sold. 0 bought. But anyway, basically what it does is it adds up everything at that tick. And normally these numbers are moving faster, and there's a lot more when the market, when the market's open. This is overnight on the Globex. Okay, so this is much slower. And that's all that's used for. This is the advanced dome. I've explained this a little bit in other videos, or at the beginning of this video. And that's how you get these things to come up. And then to get the here's your settings. Set this up how you want it. It's kind of self-explanatory. The power meter, right here, you can move this power meter around. You can make it horizontal, vertical, reset it, right? So it starts over. All the numbers start over. Turn it off, and you go in here, and then you can adjust the power meter. Here's the power meters tab. So if I want snapshot on there, which is this stuff right here, which is actually the same thing as right here on this time and sales on the right, then it would add itself to the power meter. So now I've got 2 different kinds of power meter. And then depth power meter, I do not know what that is. I think that it's these right here, where it shows me if orders are being added or pulled. And let's take a look at that. And then just click those, check those, close it, and then open your power meter. It's powered. It's got a battery and a plug socket. And basically I would widen this a little bit more. And let's check here. Let's see here. Okay, so basically this is just going to track total trades, and that's it from the time I reset it. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. This one is going to track I'm actually trying to tell you something that I don't know the answer to. You would probably need to see Peter Davies or go to the Jigsaw Trading site and then look at the manuals over this stuff and get more information about that. I'm not seeing how these relate to these numbers out here or these numbers here. So I would just go back to what they were. There, parameters, you can auto center this, right? Reset on the new session every day, so you're not saving all this data day after day, or you can save it for day after day. That can be useful to you too. You can get rid of columns, right, just by unchecking these right here, so there's not as much data. A lot of self-explanatory stuff. And then you've got the Vista window, right? That's what it's called. On here it's called the Vista window, or Vista means view. And this is the heat map, okay? So right now the 2 are linked, right? And then if I want to unlink here, then I just do the this right here, dock it or unlink it. So look, it's got 2 windows on the undock dealio. Here separates it, and then I've got where it makes it 1, right? So it's just 1, redock it, okay? And so if I undock it, then this thing moves around. I can resize it, etc., etc. And and then, scratching this together or spreading it out, controlling the colors that represent the depth. You can do all that up here. The circles, let me tell you about the circles. The circles mean on this one and the other heat map, it just means that that's where the market has jumped over. They didn't wait for a limit order, they hit a market order. And so if they're hitting market orders, it just means they're extra eager at those prices, right? And so if you're looking for that extra eagerness, okay, to give you an indication of what's going on, then you look to those circles. And basically the way it works on here is the smaller the circle, the fewer the contracts that jumped, okay, that didn't use a limit order, it just used a market order. The larger the circle, the more aggressive, the more volume was in that jump. And then they're actually split into a delta ratio. So there was actually sellers and buyers that both on this one that jumped that didn't use limit orders. And so you can see what the ratio is. On the book map, it shows you a pie graph, but on this it just splits the bubble. Okay. If it's just completely solid, it means that it was 100% buyers that jumped over, market order buyers. If it's completely red, it's 100% sellers that jumped. Basically, if the market's running down, right? If the bottom where it turns around, if that bottom is full of a bunch of red bubbles, okay, it means that it could continue to go down. And a lot of times what happens is the market runs back up, and then there's no interest here, and so it just can't continue to keep on going up. If there's not a lot of interest there, there's not a lot of bubbles there, that kind of thing. It's just an indicator. It's not 100% proof all the time. So then if it's basically if it's double topping and then it's petering out, and then the highs, the following highs are lower and lower, that kind of thing, then it's indicating that it wants to continue to go down. Now you refer back to your bubbles. There was a lot of sell bubbles right down to the bottom. Okay, so there was an eagerness to continue lower. There's no eagerness to continue higher. So it's probably going to break through support and continue lower. And then you check the same thing again. Check for those bubbles, right? How eager are they at the lows, right? Well, that kind of indicates how much lower they could go. It's the same thing going higher. So if the bubbles are nice and blue on the way up, what it's meaning is that there's a lot of greed all the way up to the top. They really want to buy, but there's also shorts that are trying to buy to cover, so you got to consider that too. They may just be getting, they may be losing really badly. Okay, that's a good indicator as well. So then it tops, and then it does a little dual, little dooly do, and there's not any bubbles down here where it reverses and comes back up, meaning that there's not a lot of aggressive selling. And then it comes back up to the top. You can kind of figure that if it ran up to the top, you want to buy low somewhere where it gives you a chance to buy lower, and then it's going to test that top again, take some profits there, maybe just continue to hold the full position or part of the position, and then probably it's going to blow through because the buying was so aggressive all the way to the top before, and you can see that with these bubbles. Okay, so that's something that you can get used to. Becomes instinctive after a while. And as you can see this chart is kind of a line chart, and it's not like a 5-minute bar chart or anything like that. That's what I like about it. So I keep this in a bar chart open if I'm trading with this one. And here's the zoom. So if I want to zoom in and look real close here, at the trades. So if I'm looking at these bubbles, or I'm looking at these these bars like this with the deeper depth of depth of market here, when the price came up there, what I want to see is, did price actually touch that bar or not, right? And if it didn't touch it, but it disappeared, the depth of market disappeared from here, then what that's telling me is that there's really no depth there. Okay, and if there's not, then it can mean that price can continue to go through because they're faking it. What they're trying to do is they're trying to put volume there and scare the market down. Computers read that volume in there, and then they go, okay, we got to go down. So that's what they're hoping. But then when price gets up there, they pull it. They pull it out because they aren't really selling. Okay, and so basically the bluff was called. And so you look closer, zoom in, look closer, see, did it disappear when price hit it, or did it disappear when price got close to it? And so if it was just close to it and then it disappeared, price is probably going to go right through them. Okay, because their bluff is going to be called. They've been spotted. They know that somebody's spoofing the market, and so it'll just move right through there. Um, okay, yeah, the circle tuner. That's, you can adjust the size of these bubbles, etc., etc. And I can close this and this. I think that's about it for the charts today. Um,